What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and it's with a heavy heart that I bring you all the news that the man with possibly one of the most legendary voices of all times, Gilbert Gottfried, has passed away at the age of 67. And of course, this news was unexpected. It completely caught me off guard, and I just can't help but think about how many legendary comedians we have lost just within the last few months. But little is known as to how he passed away or why he passed away. But his family did put out this short message. We are heartbroken to announce the passing of our beloved Gilbert Gottfried after a long illness. In addition to being the most iconic voice in comedy, Gilbert was a wonderful husband, brother, friend, and father to his two young children. Although today is a sad day for all of us, please keep laughing as loud as possible in Gilbert's honor. Love, the Gottfried family. And even though that was just a short message, I feel like that was a really sweet message. And yes, we're all going to keep laughing out loud for you. Now, when I think of Gilbert Gottfried, it's like I think of the voice before I think of the face. And that's not something you usually do. Like, when you remember someone, 9 times out of 10, you remember their face and their physical appearances before you remember how they sound. But his voice was just so iconic. It was a voice that you heard and you just knew exactly who it was. And at times, I'm not even going to lie, it would get on my nerves. But it would get on my nerves in a nice, soothing way. Like when I go back and I just listen to him talk, there's something extremely nostalgic about it. It brings me back to when times were better, when comedy was better, when movies were better, when society as a whole seemed like it was just gelling together better. Of course, probably one of his most iconic roles, at least in my eyes, is the parrot from Aladdin. Who can forget that? But he also voiced a lot of different cartoon characters and stuff when I was growing up. And he was just like the voice of the 90s. When I think of voices of the 90s, I think of him and like the clear eyes for straight, the clear eyes guy. You know what I'm talking about from the commercials? And some people actually mistake the two, but this is an extremely sad day. And I just can't help but think about this photo. This photo that was just taken not too long ago, months ago. And now the 3 legendary comedians in this photo are all gone. They say that they take them away in threes, that they go in threes. And, Norm Macdonald, Louis Anderson, Bob Saget, and now Gilbert Gottfried. Comedy is in a horrible place right now. Regardless of how you feel about these people's comedy, which, yes, it's cruder. They were very much push the envelope type of comedians. I've covered the death of Bob Saget and a lot of the controversy going on behind the scenes surrounding his death for a while now. And I know a lot of people aren't a fan of his comedy, and I wasn't necessarily a fan of his comedy either, but I acknowledge why we need people like this. We need people like this because they push the boundaries and they keep speech free. Like right now, it's like everyone's afraid to tell a joke. If you tell a joke at the Oscars, you get slapped. If you tell a joke at a comedy club, you might have a rapper, run up on stage and snatch the mic out of your hand. And these people were like the pillars of comedy who always pushed the envelopes. And, I just feel like comedy is in a horrible position without them because we needed people like them. Not just a comedy, free speech in general. Like, I could go on and on about it, but like I said, it's an extremely sad situation and we don't know many details other than he was suffering from a long illness. I don't know what that means. I had no idea that he was suffering from a long illness. I don't know what illness that may be. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of speculation and random theories online as to what happened to him. But it's definitely crazy how just a couple of months after one of his best friends, Bob Saget, is gone, now we lose him, and they're all relatively young. All of these comedians were relatively young. I mean, 67, I know a lot of people would say 67 is old. I mean, it's definitely older than I am, but that's pretty young to just be passing away. And it's like, it's crazy how it almost took out the whole crew. Like, this whole crew of comedians, the aristocrats, a lot of them told the aristocrats joke. They were in a special little group, if you will. Like, these comedians were very much a part of a special little group, and like, they're just dropping like flies. They're all gone now. And that's extremely sad, but of course, Gilbert Gottfried's voice will live on. I will never forget his voice. I can hear his voice clear as day, right in my ears, right in my mind right now as we speak. But one of the saddest parts about this story is that even though Gilbert Gottfried was older, he was 67, he actually leaves behind 2 young children. He actually got married to his wife in 2007, and they became parents that same year, and they welcomed their daughter Lily. And then the pair welcomed their second child together, their son Max, in 2009. So he's leaving behind some young, kids. These aren't grown children. They're kids who very much still need their father. And it's extremely sad that now he has passed away. But I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. What is your favorite Gilbert Gottfried memory? What memory do you have of him? All of us have a memory of him. No matter how odd it may be, maybe it's just the one time you heard his voice in the movie theaters, or how you remember him from a certain commercial. What's your Gilbert Gottfried memory? I'm really interested in hearing it. I'm going to read through all of these comments, so let me know down in the comments below. But for now, let's just pray for his family. Let's pray for comedy, and let's just pray for society as a whole. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you on the next video.